Hello everyone, welcome to Narain's Life with MS. This is Narain and it is finally the end of the week. The weekend is starting. So of course, before we start the weekend, why don't I give you some news about multiple sclerosis that has happened or at least been reported on this week. Yes, that's right, it is Friday findings. And so join me as we talk about different things that have happened in the world of MS. The two articles that I do have to share with you are actually very interesting. One goes into the sphere of public health, especially in India, one of the countries not very well known for having many multiple sclerosis cases. And the other one actually talks about something that, is a little shocking to hear, but does end up opening certain ideas and definitely certain opportunities in the future for MS patients now, and of course the future MS patients as well. So, with that being said, why don't we get started with the first article? So, the first article that I am going to be talking about actually mentions how multiple sclerosis might be the next big public health priority in India. Now, as I mentioned, multiple sclerosis is not very well known in India, but as per sources, the per capita rate of multiple sclerosis is at around 8.6 or 8.7 per 100,000 people, which goes on to say that there are about 110,000 people or 110,000 people in India living with MS. Now, with MS, of course, a lot of people are unaware of this medical condition existing in this country. And so, as a result, a lot of people are not diagnosed. And as a result, this number can be a lot higher once, the awareness does spread around. And of course, apart from just the awareness of this disease, it is also very important to note that there are a lot of things that are present in today's India that do not actually help multiple sclerosis patients in many ways. The first thing is that, of course, a lot of the treatments are on the more expensive side, and as a result, there are, of course, very few patients that actually do get the level of care that they need for this kind of medical condition. Right, I definitely, on reading this article, I definitely did see where I actually felt very privileged to be able to have the ability to literally choose whichever treatment that I wanted. But of course, that is not the case with every single person here. And more so than that, there is, of course, another thing, which is there is less awareness of multiple sclerosis in India. And as a result, a lot of people, even when they are experiencing the symptoms, may not know why they are experiencing those specific symptoms. Apart from this, another thing that does make it a little harder to get the proper care for multiple sclerosis is that there isn't a very robust system when it comes to medical insurance to provide the proper treatments for multiple sclerosis. A lot of people, even if they have very good medical insurance providers or very good medical insurance plans, do see that their specific multiple sclerosis treatment is not actually covered in their insurance plan. Right, this case actually holds true for me as well, because I am currently using rituximab for as my multiple sclerosis treatment, and rituximab is not covered by the medical insurance that I am on. And of course, apart from that, if I do end up taking my own medical insurance, or if I do get a private medical insurance for myself, I will have to wait at least 4 years before I am going to be eligible for getting any form of treatment. Uh, and of course, that also will be heavily regulated in terms of which kind of treatments are going to be available and possible for me. So, there are definitely a lot of things that do need to happen with India in terms of focus on multiple sclerosis, and as a result, there have been lots of things that the government has in plan, or at least should have in plan, so that they can actually make multiple sclerosis a proper public health priority for the future in India. So that, of course, covers the first article that I am presenting. You can, of course, access this article through the link that I will provide in the description of this video. Of course, you can go through the article, and of course, do give in your thoughts, your insights, your experiences, and do let me know what you think about uh, the future plan of actually prioritizing multiple sclerosis care and multiple sclerosis health, so that more people will have access to the proper treatment and the proper diagnosis tools, along with the proper sort of resources available for them in case they need help. So that, of course, covers article number 1. So let's get started with article number 2. Now, this article, of course, is going to go a little more advanced. So it is best that you read the article that I have, of course, linked in the description of this video, so that you can actually be a little more, you will actually have a little more knowledge, so that you can give any sort of comment you want on this article. But this article actually discusses the fact that while MS is affecting the brain, originally the thought was that only the white matter, which of course contains the myelin and all of that, would be damaged as a result of MS. But what just happens to actually happen is that gray matter in the brain, which actually has brain cells, also experiences quite a bit of damage as a result of multiple sclerosis. Now, the way scientists, and these are scientists from the University of California at San Francisco, University of Cambridge, and of course the Cedars-Sinai medical system, researchers actually found that there is one 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 item available in the brain. There is one neuron in the brain titled CUX2, and in CUX2 actually experiences damage as a result of multiple sclerosis being present. And the fact that CUX2 is actually being damaged, it can not only damage the myelin in the brain, but it can also damage the DNA within brain cells and actually cause them to stop working. And as a result, you will have MS patients who do experience some form of cognitive degeneration as a result of progression with MS, and of course just having MS over a certain amount of time. As a result, this does create a little bit of an issue for MS patients, because now it is not only the myelin that we have to worry about, but also of course the gray matter in our brains. But this does allow scientists to also open another opportunity to provide some form of treatment, so that we can make sure that we can keep our gray matter and our white matter protected. So while remyelinization is of course one of the biggest things that could happen in the future, in the very near future, another thing that could also another part of research that could be started are of course the another part of research that actually could get started is how to improve or how to mitigate the damage that is being caused to the brain cells in, of course, our brains. So yes, with this article, please do read the full article, which is going to be linked in the description section, and please do provide your thoughts, your insights, your comments, and of course your experiences as to why what you think can happen, what are some possible therapies that you can see for us, not becoming overly you know overly dumb as a result of this medical condition. But of course, one of the good things is that considering that we have already identified this, that scientists have already identified this, that the next step will obviously be to find certain therapies, certain treatments that can actually mitigate, reverse, and of course improve our quality of life as a result. So that has been article number 2. So yes, we had two very interesting articles over here. As always, the link to the articles is available on in the description section of this video. So please do read both of these articles. These articles are, I do like the mix of seeing certain things happen more on the ground, along with something that is a little more technical, because it allows us to actually not only consider only the medical side of things or only the scientific side of things, but also see what could possibly happen in the future on ground that will actually impact many people, and not only that, but many future patients of MS. So yes, please do provide your comments, please do provide your thoughts, your insights, your experiences. And with that said, I know it is Friday, so I do hope you have something great planned for your weekend. I do hope that you are going to be doing something that, at least if not concerns partying of any kind, it will definitely allow you to rest, relax, recover any of the sleep you might have lost this week during the weekdays, and of course get back to having as much rest as possible. So with that said, a happy weekend in advance, and of course, good night, sweet dreams, and I will catch you tomorrow. Bye.